G'day, I'm Tommy from Bushman Fridges, and today I'm going to show you how to adjust the door alignment and reset the rubber door seals on your Bushman DC-X series fridge. This is something you might want to do if you're getting ice building up in your freezer very quickly, or if your fridge is ever wet or dripping on the inside. The tools you'll need for this job are a power drill or a hand Phillips head screwdriver and a heat gun. The first thing we're going to do is check the door alignment. So the first thing I usually check is when you close the fridge door, if it's rubbing on the bottom door support here. So ideally it's sitting 1 or 2 mils just above that metal door support. So that's the first thing to check. The second thing to check is the bottom of the fridge door rubbing when you close it? So it should close freely all the way without any resistance. So if you find that the fridge door is slightly out of alignment, what you're going to want to do is loosen the screws in your top hinge and your bottom hinge about half a turn each, just so that they're finger tight, and then you can twist the door. There'll be a bit of play in the door. So for example, if it was rubbing down on the bottom right, you would twist your door a little bit anti-clockwise, hold it in that spot, and then tighten up the hinge screws again. Just do them up hand tight, you don't want to strip them. Then check your door again. If it's then closing freely, you've got it in the right spot. If it's still rubbing, you might need to add an extra washer on the bottom hinge pin. To do that, you take the screws out of the top hinge, lift the top hinge off, lift the door off, put an extra washer on that bottom hinge pin, put your door back on, and then put your top hinge back in. Again, check the alignment. Once you've got it nice and you're happy with it, tighten your screws up on the hinges, and it's good to go. Once you've got the door line nice and square, the last thing you want to do is just check the door catch. So when you close the door, you want the top of the door handle here to click underneath your door catch, and you want it to be nice and snug, so you don't want any play. If you find you've got excess play, so I'll move this forward, you've got extra play in here, you loosen the 5 screws on top of your metal door catch a little bit. You can slide this back. Once it's slid back and it's nice and straight with the fridge here, then you just tighten your screws back up and it's good to go. So the door alignment's done and the door catch is nice and snug. The last thing we want to check is if there's any gap in the door seals. One of the easiest way to do this is grab a torch, put it inside the fridge, shut the fridge door, and then just carefully go around the outside and have a look to see if there's a slither of light coming through. Even a 1 mil slither just in a corner will be enough for air to suck into the fridge, and then your freezer will get icy very quickly. So I'll put a torch in now and I'll go around and show you what that looks like. So I've got our trusty torch. We're going to put him inside the fridge, facing out to the left-hand side. That way I can have a look down the side of the fridge and see if there's any light coming out. There's none coming out here. We can check underneath to see if there's any light sneaking out underneath, and we can check the right-hand side and again at the top. There is one little spotlight coming in, and that's on the right-hand side. I'll show you how to heat that up now with a heat gun to get it nice and sealed. So we do this by applying gentle heat to the door seals all the way around. To do this, I normally just start on one side about halfway down with the door closed, and then you just gently heat the rubber seals up. Don't get too close or have your gun on too hot, because you run the risk of actually melting the seals. The seals are molded into the doors, then you'd need a new door. So if in doubt, just be very cautious and careful with it. So you're gently heating the rubber up. As the rubber gets warm, it gets malleable, and there's magnets inside there. So the rubber seal will sort of suck onto the fridge cabinet, and if there's any big gaps, you'll see it move. So you go all the way around the door, both sides, the bottom and the top. Once that's done, leave the door closed for about 10 minutes so that the rubber seals cool in that position, and you'll have perfect seal. You'll know, because when you go to open the door, it'll have quite a bit of resistance. I hope you found that video helpful. If you have any queries, please get in touch anytime. We are always happy to help.